The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have made a move that might have flown under the radar for most. They've signed linebacker Jennings to a future contract. Jennings, who entered the NFL as a college free agent with the Baltimore Ravens, has had a roller coaster journey. He managed to make the Ravens' season-opening roster and stayed with the team from weeks 1 to 11 before being waived after an injury. Jennings is no stranger to adversity. At Rutgers, he was a tackling machine, racking up 252 total tackles, a sack, and an interception across just 58 games. Those numbers highlight his potential to make an impact on special teams and add depth to the Bucs linebacker group. The state of the defense now. Let's talk about the real issue. Tampa Bay's defense. Head coach Todd Bowles is feeling the heat, and rightly so. While the Bucs managed to put up some impressive numbers offensively, ranking 4th in the NFL in scoring with 29.5 points per game, the defense was far less consistent. Last season, the Bucs had a middle-of-the-pack defense, ranking 16th in scoring by allowing around 23 points per game. They tallied 46 sacks, 6th in the league, and had the 4th best rush defense. However, the pass defense was a glaring weakness, ranking 3rd worst in the NFL. Injuries in the secondary, including to key players like Jordan Whitehead, exposed this vulnerability. Bowles under scrutiny. With Bowles on the hot seat, fans are debating whether the issue lies in his defensive play calling or the personnel itself. The wild card loss to Washington highlighted the need for more consistent play from the defensive line and more reliable coverage from the secondary. One area of concern is the lack of a proven, consistent edge rusher to complement the interior pressure. Injuries undoubtedly played a role in the struggles, but at the end of the day, it's clear the Bucs need to bolster their pass defense if they want to compete in 2025. Offensive shifts and coaching carousel. On the other side of the ball, there's a sense of cautious optimism. Baker Mayfield just had a career year, guiding the Bucs to another NFC South title. Despite the potential loss of OC Liam Cohen, who's in the mix for the Jacksonville Jaguars head coaching job, Tampa Bay remains an attractive destination for offensive minds. After all, Dave Canales left for Carolina after guiding Mayfield to success last season. The Bucs offense has been dynamic and productive, and with players like Chris Godwin and rookie Emeka Egbuka, there's potential for even more firepower. The challenge will be maintaining that momentum while also addressing defensive deficiencies. What's next for Tampa Bay? The Bucs have shown they can light up the scoreboard, but sustaining that success hinges on building a defense that can hold its own. Jennings might just be one piece of the puzzle, but Tampa Bay needs more than depth signings. They need difference makers, especially in the secondary and on the edge. With Bowles fighting for his job and the Bucs looking to retain their division crown, every move matters. Can Jennings make a mark, and will the defense finally find its identity? Stay tuned, because the Bucs' next chapter could be their most unpredictable yet. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense was a tale of two stories last season. On one hand, they had the 4th best rush defense in the NFL. On the other, their pass defense ranked among the worst, placing them 3rd from the bottom. Injuries were a major factor. Key players like Antoine Winfield Jr., Jordan Whitehead, and Jamel Dean were sidelined for significant portions of the season. In that critical wildcard game against Washington, it was painfully clear how much they missed their secondary stalwarts. The situation at linebacker doesn't look much better. Levante David and KJ Britt, the main starters in 2024, are set to hit free agency. Britt began the season as the starting linebacker, but was hampered by injury late in the season, missing 3 games and seeing his snap count drop significantly. Eventually, J.J. Russell took over, but now Russell is a restricted free agent as well. To make matters worse, Kasser Dennis, expected to be the primary coverage linebacker, suffered a season-ending shoulder injury in Week 4. Taking a chance. The Jennings signing. Amid this uncertainty, the Buccaneers decided to take a low-risk, high-upside approach by signing linebacker Jennings to a futures contract. Jennings, who previously spent time with the Baltimore Ravens, showed flashes of potential during the preseason. Although he only earned a 47.1 overall grade from Pro Football Focus, his coverage abilities were rated a solid 75.4. Jennings' journey has been anything but easy. After entering the league as a college free agent from Rutgers, he made the Ravens' opening roster before being waived due to injury. At Rutgers, Jennings was a consistent force, racking up 252 tackles, 21 for loss, and showing solid coverage skills. At 6 feet 1 inch and 230 pounds, he has the physical traits the Buccaneers desperately need. A Band-Aid or a solution? Let's be clear. Nobody expects Jennings to instantly become a starting linebacker for Tampa Bay. But what he brings to the table is depth and competition, a chance to fill the gaps left by injury and inconsistency. In a defense that needs more athleticism and versatility, Jennings might just carve out a role for himself, especially with his ability to drop into coverage. But the bigger issue here is systemic. Can Todd Bowles make the necessary adjustments? Is the problem his scheme, or is it simply a lack of talent on the roster? Either way, the Buccaneers are in a bind, and signing players like Jennings is a small step toward fixing what was clearly a flawed unit in 2024. Whether it's enough remains to be seen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers find themselves at a crossroads. Despite flashes of brilliance, the defense was plagued by injuries and inconsistency throughout the season. Sometimes, things just don't break your way, and that's exactly how it felt after that narrow 3-point loss to Washington. Looking back, it's clear. It just wasn't meant to be. Now, as we approach the offseason, the Bucs are faced with a critical question: how to rebuild a defense that needs more than just minor adjustments. Targeting the defense. Looking ahead, it's safe to say the Bucs' offseason moves, whether through the draft, free agency, or trades, will be heavily focused on the defensive side of the ball. With a projected cap space of $21.9 million for 2025, there's room to maneuver, but the needs are plenty. The linebacker room is particularly thin, with free agency looming over starters like Levante David and KJ Britt. While injuries plagued KJ Britt's 2024 season, his performances were already on a decline even before being sidelined. J.J. Russell stepped in but didn't prove to be a long-term answer. Cassier Dennis showed flashes of potential, but durability remains a concern. The defensive line also needs a consistent edge rusher to complement the existing pieces. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big-name free agent. The draft could yield the right player. But the most glaring issue? Pass defense. Ranking 29th in passing yards allowed just isn't going to cut it. The Bucs need to shore up that secondary, whether through acquiring proven veterans or betting on rookies with high upside. The Jayden Daniels wake-up call. The recent game against Washington underscored the issues. Rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels had his way against the Bucs, completing 24 of 35 passes for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns, while also adding 36 yards on the ground. The defense allowed Washington to convert 8 out of 15 third downs and gave up 350 total yards. These numbers are far from acceptable, and it's evident that Tampa's defense lacks the aggression needed to dominate. Filling gaps early. While free agency hasn't officially begun, Tampa has started the process of adding depth. The signing of linebacker Jennings is a good start. While he may not be the next star, his college career showcased his potential as a coverage linebacker. The Bucs need players who bring grit, resilience, and a willingness to grind. Filling the roster with hungry players like Jennings is a step in the right direction, but much more work remains. One thing is clear: this defense needs more dogs. They need relentless players who refuse to back down. It's early, but at least the Bucs seem aware of their shortcomings and are looking to address them before it's too late.